What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, the Porsche 911 RS America, the last of the Porsche DLC. I've been looking forward to getting stuck into this one for a long time, but I've just got waylaid with other things, but today we're finally going to get stuck into this little beast of a Porsche, and I'm so glad about it. Let's have a look at what I got this one for. I got it from the auction. It has 193,000 kilometers on it, and I got absolutely ripped off. Bought it for 67,088 credits. Could now sell it for 60,423, taking a loss of 6,665 credits, which is not my greatest by any means. This has got a 262 horsepower B6 M6 4.01 engine in it, which we will obviously be tuning today, this beast of an engine out the back here. Looking insane. That looks like a huge turbo setup on there, or a blower at least. But this is an incredible, incredible engine. It is rear-wheel drive, so we know we're going to have to take the rear wheels off before we get that engine out. But that will come later on when we're pitting performance parts all over that. First up, though, let's get this one over to the car wash, excuse my croaky voice, and get this one cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash. Let's get it cleaned. On you go. Looking like it's a pretty grey Porsche, this one. It could be blue, though. What colour is it? That is a blue, actually. Not a bad looking blue. That's looking quite tasty. But let's get this interior done. Get it back on the lift and get that beast of an engine ripped out. Ready to strip everything down before we build it all back up again. This being a Porsche, it's probably going to be a split engine, which still means we'll probably need to drain the oil. No official oil pan, but I reckon we will need to drain it. So over you come. Let's get you drained out. Very, very dark. Yes, that oil definitely needed changing. So let's get you put away. And let's see what we got going on here. Let's get these both wheels and both these drive shafts off, because we know we have to anyway. That's both the wheels and drive shafts out. I can get the starter from here as well. Thank you. I was kind of looking at it thinking, will I be able to get that from the top? But let's try this, and gearbox out as well. And now hopefully we should be able to just rip that big old engine out in one go. So let's get it back down on the ground and get the engine crane over here. Over you come, you little beauty. Let's get you opened up and let's get this engine out. Nice. Came out nice and simple in one go. Let's see what we've got in this engine bay that needs clearing then. So we've got an oil filter up here. Power steering reservoir at the top here. And the exhaust section. And then down the front, we've got a brake servo, fuse box, the ABS module, and the windshield washer reservoir with a little battery tucked in the corner there. I've got to get some liquids drained. Can I reach them all from here? Hopefully. So I'm going to crack on with this. Additional tools, drain tool, click and hold. See you in a second. I did manage to get them all drained from here. So let's start ripping all of these out. I say ripping. Let's start gently removing and unbolting all of these out, because hopefully we can repair, especially these ABS module and a servo here, or pump, whatever you want to call that. Let's get a fuel pump out as well, and that battery. Hopefully I remember this one today. Let's take a look under the fuse box. Quite a bit going on in that one. We won't bother removing all of that now. I've just got one more thing to get out, or two more things, should I say. Power steering reservoir and that oil filter there. That's it for the engine bay. There's the oil filler plug. Luckily it's not attached to the engine on this one. Let's check out the suspension at the back. We got double wishbone, and it's looking pretty complete. Let's just go like that and see where we are. We've got all of the hub bearing in there. All of the brake setup looks complete. Obviously, the wheels were all on. That's normally a good indicator. That looks all there as well. Let's nip down the front. Let's get this wheel off while we're here. Out you come. Nice and easy. Let's have a look under this one as well. Double wishbone. Oh, I've gone too far. We've got the shock absorber. Do we have... Yes, there we go. The inner and outer tie rod, the sway bar front end link here as well. Let's get this other wheel off. Out you come. Nice, nice, nice. And nice. There we go. And that is looking all complete as well. You got the hubcap, the wheel bearing. Inner and outer tie rod are both there. Sway bar front end link. All of the bushings are in as well. This is looking quite nicely completed. So I'm going to get on and get all of this out. Then I'm going to clear the underside before we go and strip that beautiful Porsche engine. I'll see you in the engine room in just a little while. That's all the mechanical parts off of the Porsche 911 now. Very bare bones. Looking very sorry for itself. It's still in very bad condition. But let's go and strip down that engine. We'll throw the battery on the charge en route. Let's have a look at it, because it is a beast. Wonder if I'll figure out how to strip this one at this time. The last time I had a Porsche engine, I couldn't figure out what to do to split it in half. I made a few mistakes. But let's jump in to the front of this one and start stripping it down. Already got, there you go, the belt's all off. Let's see what's next. There's a lot going on, so let's get these cables off of here. We're going to have the little clips on these. Let's get the clips off the distributors so we can get them pulled out as well. Out you come, out you come. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, let's try that again. There we go. Then we'll get all the caps off, the rotors out, and get that actual distributor off. Then what can we remove? Out comes the fan cover and the alternator in the middle there. Off you come, and we'll get that crankshaft pulley and the power steering pump out while we're here. Nice. Let's get these timing covers off. See what we've got hiding underneath this one. Off you come, nice and easy. Cam gear, timing chain, and a timing shoe. Always got to remember to take the Porsche shoes off. Let's get this other cover off as well while we're here. Out you come. Nice and easy. Then we'll start tearing down that top end. See what we've got going on up there. Let's get the other shoe off. Out you come. There we go. What have we got up here then? So we've got the big blower. Then where are we going? Over to the air filter. Out you come, off with the clips. Nice and easy. Let's get the base out, air filter out, and then the cover out as well. Then the throttle and manifold on both sides. Out you come. Lots of bolts on this one. Come on, nice and easy. That fuel rail as well. Nice little fuel rail. Let's grab the other manifold while we are here. Off you come. Nice and easy. Then we've got the other fuel rail and then the engine block cover. Off of you come. That should be it for the top end, apart from maybe that fuel filter there. And then we'll have to start tearing into these side blocks here. So let's get off this exhaust manifold. Easy. Nice 6 bolts there with one rusty one. Out you come. Come on then. And then we'll get these engine heads off. See what we've got going on underneath here. Oh, that looks like a bit confusing. Let's get the other one off and see where we're at. So what have we got? Camshaft bearing as one piece. Nice. All of the hidden little spark plugs in there. Out you come, out you come, out you come. And one more there. Yeah, there we go. Then we've got the camshaft, which we can't get. But now we can get the chains and hopefully the cam gear. And then the camshaft. And then this cover. Ideal. I will obviously get on and get the other side without making you watch. Off with the heads. These all, I believe, can be replaced with performance parts, so that should be pretty sweet. Out you come, and then it should just be this one underneath as well. Then we're into the pistons and comrades, yes. So this will be nice and simple. I won't sit and make you watch all of this. I'll crack on with this and see where we end up in just a minute. Okay, and next off needs to come all of the clutch assembly. So let's get all of this ripped out. I've taken the heads off of both sides. Finished all of that there and there. So we're down to the pistons. But let's get this clutch plate off, because I believe on this one, this is what we need next. There we go. Before we can get one half of the engine block ripped off. Off you come. Nice and easy. Obviously, this now being a 6-piston engine. So you've got 3 on either side. What we need to do is just go in and get rid of all of these rod caps and everything like that. All of these crankshaft bearings. And we'll be able to rip both sides off. Nice and simple. So I'm just going to crack on with this, get it going, hopefully get to a point where you can see I can remove that piston, then I can remove that. No, I can't remove that rod cap. I need to go to the other side and get that rod cap. Let's get all of these backside rod caps off first then. Out you come, out you come, and out you come with the pistons on the other side. 1 and 2. Can I take this off yet? No, but I can take that out. Now this one, there we go. Now I can get to the other side, get to these rod caps, and get these ones off. That's the end of that. I'm going to get the rest of this all repaired, replace what I need to replace with performance parts. I'll meet you back by the car when we're going to strip the body down. Well, that's everything bought and repaired for the Porsche 911. Just time to start stripping down this body. Now let's just jump into it. Off with the hood, off with the front bumper. We'll get the door off, we'll get that rear window out. Rear bumper, rear lights, nice on there as well. Out you come. Rear trunk, and that obviously rear window as well. Left body window, left door, And that's probably it for the bodywork. Let's jump in and grab this interior. We will be keeping this the same interior because it is the Porsche interior. So out you come, and out you go. Let's go back to the bodywork. Let's see. Let's just have a quick check. Does it look like we missed anything? I don't think we did. But just to be on the safe side, let's go into here. Check that 1%. Check that. Nothing on there. Yes, the whole body is now stripped. So let's grab this welder. Let's get this one sorted again. This was a little bit of an expensive car. Not quite as much as the last one. So I'm going to go with 2,100. 2,250. I'm so close. I'm getting better, but not quite there still. Get this frame all sorted out. Get this one put away. Get the bodywork back together. And now this one is nice and simple. I will just show you the shop because you only have the base parts. So I'm going to repair what I've got, what I can repair, and replace it with this. We'll get the interior replaced as well, and I'll get some license plates. I'll meet you back here in just a moment. I think I've got everything. Let's start getting it all back together on with the front bumper. I did manage to repair quite a lot of it as well. Obviously, I had to buy the fenders because they weren't on there in the first place. Let's get the headlights in. In you go, and in you go. On with the door. We'll get that windscreen in while we're here as well. On with the window and the mirror. Nice. And then the rear window as well. A rear bumper. On you go. As you can see, a lot of it was repaired. Obviously, the lights can't be repaired. But the trunk and self, or the windows can't be repaired either. But everything else, apart from maybe one door and both fenders, I managed to repair. And obviously, one of the wing mirrors as well I had to replace. But that's not looking too bad. Quite happy with that. Got some license plates to go on, and let's chuck them on now. I have gone for the State of Utah plates with their Virtual Mechanic and 911 RS on there. Quite happy with them. They're looking all right. Let's get the front one on as well while we're here. On you go. There we go. It is in there all right. And then we will crack on and get this lovely 964 interior in with the racing style seats there. And on with the steering wheel. Let's just double check I have got everything into car status. That's not the one I want. 100%, 100%, 100%. That is all the bodywork back together, looking pretty nice. That blue itself isn't too bad. I quite like it. Probably won't stick with it though, but let's get this one over to the paint shop, see if there are any liveries, and pick a lovely colour for it. I'll see you in a second. We're on a nice gloss white just so I can check out what these liveries are. Let's have a look what we've got then in slot number 1. Absolutely nothing apart from this little RS badge down in the corner, as far as I can tell anyway. That's all it looks like. Let's go back to 0, back to 1. Yeah, it looks like it is just that RS badge down there. Slot number 2, I'm going to assume that's the same, but the white badge, yes, just the white RS America, or RS badge down there. That's all right. We can either have a white or a black RS badge, depending on which color we go for. So now I'm going to pick which color we go for. Let's have a look at some of the factory options. Obviously, white, black. That silver's quite nice. Oh, we could go for a silver Porsche. That's not bad. A few other options to play around with. Maybe I won't go with a factory color. Unsure, although that silver as well is quite nice. Don't know what to do with this one. I'm going to have a think and have a play. I'll meet you back on the lifter. Well, I'll meet you back here in a minute once I've decided which color we're going for. Here's what I've gone for then. This lovely gloss yellow on the Porsche 911 RS America. I kept it with the black livery just because there's quite a lot of black detailing going on around the outside of this car here. And I'm probably going to do black rims on it, although I'm unsure about that one yet. Still look pretty cool, though, with some black rims. As for the suspension, I don't really know. Probably some chrome blacks. Maybe just some straight chromes we'll see with some yellows in there. Not 100% sure on that, though, obviously, against that engine. That engine has to be black and yellow in there, though. That's just going to look absolutely incredible, I think. Not sure what bits are going to be yellow and what's going to be black yet. Got to figure that out as I paint some parts. But that's it. That's what I'm going for, this beautiful yellow. So let's get the car back on the lift. I'm going to get some painting done of all the components I'm going to need. And I'll meet you back there for the reassembly of the suspension in just a moment. That's everything painted, and let's check out how good it all looks on the car. Well, let's check out how it looks on the shocks first. Lovely gloss black into the gloss yellow on the shocks here. Looking absolutely fantastic. A bit of a Bumblebee style look. While I'm here, I'm going to grab my battery so that I don't forget it in a bit. But there we go. let's jump on and get some of these coloured parts in here then. So for the front Crossmember, I have done that one in the yellow. On you go. Hopefully that's a body matching yellow. We'll get the rest of this on and we'll double check it. The upper and lower suspension arms are in a chromed black because why not? They just look awesome. And this is a black and yellow theme, so it really does fit with it and it just looks absolutely fantastic. On with the shock, we've already seen that in its lovely black and yellow on there. We'll get the brake caliper on as well. That's in a yellow. That's not a bad match considering how hard that normally is to get the match up. On with the front end link and then obviously the wheel hubcap as well. Just in black there, looking pretty good, but let's step away and that's not far off of the body color, is it? That front brake's a bit too dark, but everything else, that's looking pretty good. Quite happy with that. Let's move down the back and get the back sorted out here. Now the rear knuckles you can paint, so I have as normal done them in a yellow because there's no cross member. And then the upper and lower arms just in the black. Again, as you've already seen at the front. Looking pretty cool though. Quite happy with the colour combination we've got going on. I'm liking that black and yellow. I wish there was a bit more of a livery so I could play around with a few more sort of colours on there. Make it a bit more personal. But it is what it is. Let's just crack on and get this rear section finished while we're here. On with the final bit, the brake caliper. The yellow looks so much nicer down here in the light. Let's check it against the bodywork. It definitely looks better in the light down at the rear end here. But also while we're here, we're going to get this rear exhaust or front exhaust section, as that was apparently called, in as well. On you go, looking pretty sweet. I'm going to crack on and get the other side completely finished, and then we'll jump on and get into this engine bay and get all of that sorted out. Hopefully this is going to look pretty sweet when it's finished. I'm going to crack on with this. I'll see you in just a few minutes when we get that engine bay sorted out. Very, very happy with how the suspensions come out there, and it's black and yellow. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Just a black showing up at the back there with a few splashes of yellow and then loads of yellow in the front end here. Looking absolutely great, but we're here to sort out the engine bay. So let's crack on with that. In with these pieces, on with the ABS pump and the module. On the front you go there. Very quick to sort out engine bay, this one. It shouldn't take too long at all. I will throw my battery in because I have remembered it, and we will throw the fuse box in. Now, I have done this one in red. It's probably a bit of a surprise to some of you to see that one in red, but it is there. The reason I've done that is there is a few splashes of red on the engine bay. Let's get that power steering reservoir in, and we might as well get the oil filter in as well. And I have also painted that one red just to throw a bit of red in the engine bays, and also to compare them against, there is a splash of red on that engine. I'm going to get on now and fill in this fuse box. Then we're going to go and build that beautiful engine. So I'll see you in the engine room in just a moment. Although I have painted that fuse box, I have since realised that it was pointless. You can't see it from anywhere. Just about see the reservoirs sticking up through there. Not looking too bad. And then in the rear here, that engine's going to take up most of that space. Looking incredible. But the oil filter does stick out in the red. But let's go and build that engine. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a little bit exciting. Let's start. We'll get the crankshaft on and we'll start throwing on all of these pistons. On you go, on you go, on you go. I won't make you watch all of this though. I've got to get all the caps on and stuff like that. Hopefully, I just want to be able to get to one side of the engine real quick. Is that going to let me do it? No, I'm going to have to put these rod caps on as well. So I'll see you in a second. So I've got all the rod caps on, looking pretty cool. Time to get half of the engine block on. It is in a beautiful chrome black there. Looking absolutely quality. I've got to get these crankshaft bearings on before we can get the other half of the engine on there. On you go, on you go. And hopefully with a bit of luck, on you go. Then I can get the shaft in, slot that one in, and then the second half of the engine there. Also in its beautiful chrome black, looking pretty sweet. Now let's start throwing some of these other pieces on. I don't know where to begin. Let's just begin over here. These engine cylinders. Now these ones couldn't be painted, so they are just in their standard sort of chromey color there. Looking pretty sweet though. But I have done these engine heads in the yellow. They are looking pretty cool. On you go, and on you go. Quickly, come on now. Can't miss the bolts for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Got to get the spark plugs in. These piping underneath, I have just done that in the chrome black to sort of blend it in to the engine there. And the exhaust manifold itself can't be painted as per usual. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to crack on, get the other side done, and get all of these spark plugs in, and I'll get all that clutch set up as well. There we go. All the clutch set up, all the engine heads on this side on as well. Let's crack on with a bit going on in the front here. So let's get the crankshaft pulley on. Let's get the distributor in its black. I haven't obviously painted the rotors because they're going to be covered by these distributor caps. Now, sadly, none of this on the Porsche can be performance parts. So I have just blacked all of that out anyway. And then we've got some lovely yellow clips going on just to sort of give it a splash of the yellow that's going on here. If I could grab them, they're very hard to squeeze in this one. On you go, and come on, there we go, on you go. Looking pretty sweet. Power steering pump. I have done that one in a red because there is a few splashes of a red on this engine. Then the timing covers coming off the front, they are just in that chrome black to sort of fit in with the rest of the fronts going on here. All pretty much blacked out looking. Let's get that camshaft in, and then hopefully we can get on the cam gear and the timing chain, and we can get this Porsche's shoes on. On you go, and there's the shoe, hopefully, just there. Nice. Let's get the other side done as well while we're here. On with you, on with that cam gear, and on with the chain. And then hopefully the other shoe. On you go. Nicely. Then we got a couple of covers on these, again, just in the chrome black to sort of go with the front end of this engine. On you go, and on you go. Nice and easy. Slot you all in. Looking pretty good. Then we got the camshaft bearing. On you go, nice and easy to slot that one on. And then the engine head covers, I have just done them in the yellow to sort of match what's going on with each side. Let's just get one side completed, and we'll take a quick look and see how that looks. See there, you got the yellow into the chrome, into the yellow with the black surround. Looking pretty sweet. Let's get on and get the other side all finished up. There we go, and now we can crack on with this top end. Now, let's just get to a nice angle, shall we? There we go. The engine block cover is just in black. It was one of them plastic parts that wouldn't take any colour nicely, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. Then we've got the alternator in the middle in the yellow. Thank you very much. And there should be a fan cover in yellow as well. And then the actual fan itself in red, just to get a splash of that more going on the front end. Obviously, then we've got some belts to throw on. So let's just get these on quickly. Hopefully, I can do all of these in one. And the last one going up there. Nicely done. I think that's all the belts. Then we've got the intake manifold in the yellow because it painted and it looked, hopefully, in the paint shop it looked great. We'll see how these look when they're all built up together. On you go, on you go. Let's have a look at this one. Then we've got the throttle in the middle. Hopefully that's in yellow as well. Yes, it is. But that has got a few splashes of red on it, which is why I've sort of kept the red theme going on. On with the blower. Yeah, this one couldn't be painted, so it just went black. But it looks... I could still get them in a nice black, so it still looks pretty good there. And then the air filter covers are just in black as well because they didn't want to paint nicely either. This was an engine full of parts that just didn't want to paint nicely. But I did manage to get some shiny yellow clips onto this one. So we'll get all of these on, and then we just got the fuel rails and some cables to go, I believe. I missed the button there. Get you on. The fuel rails are in red, just to throw a splash more of that red in this engine bay here. Make it look a bit awesome. And then the cables themselves, they are also in red there. And that is it. I think, personally, the red, black, and yellow was a nice combination. Didn't want to get too much red in the car. I just knew that this was going to have some red anyway. For example, that fuel filter, where is it? Just down there. And the red banding on this sort of blends now in with the rest of the red on the front there. I'm quite happy with how that turns out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to grab some pictures, and then we'll get it dropped in the Porsche. So happy with that engine. It looks absolutely incredible. Let's get it off the stand, put it in our pocket, and get it dropped into the beautiful Porsche 911 RS America. In you go. Hopefully this is going to look pretty sweet, and hopefully the yellow matches. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Yes, very, very happy with that. Look how good that yellow looks against the bodywork. That looks insane. Obviously, you got the red banding of the Porsche logo and the lights there, blending in with the reds on the engine. That looks so good. So good. I am very, very happy with that. Let's get it up in the air. Let's get the gearbox and drive shafts in. On you go. Up you go into the air. Let's see what we've got. In we go, and on we go. Now, I have just done the gearbox in that chrome black to match in with the engine block. Nicely. The starter, though, is in the yellow to blend it in with the engine. Not that you'll be able to see it from anywhere, but it still looks pretty good. Then on we go with the rear drive shafts, so we know that we've nicely just got the wheels to go before we get this one outside. That is everything finished off in this lovely Porsche. Looking absolutely brilliant. I've just got them wheels to do. Shall they be in black? I reckon they probably should. I will still give a couple of colours a go. There's too much black on this for them to go white, and with that engine being black and yellow there, maybe red? No, red will be too much. Probably going to be black rims, but I will play around with some colours and see how it looks. And to get some liquids topped up, then we'll get the wheels done. Next time you see this Porsche, it'll be outside. Here we are then, all finished with the Porsche 911 RS America. Absolutely stunning. Loving this yellow, looking absolutely beautiful. Loving that engine in there. The red, the yellow, and the black of that engine. Really showing through. Really love that. And I did go for black rims in the end. Now, the fronts here, these are slightly bigger and wider than the standard tyres. These are 19-inch rims with a 265 width at the front, which is a lot bigger than normal, and a 30 profile on there. They just happen to stick out enough, and you can see the yellow brake calipers just poking through. The backs here, these are a 20-inch rim at the back, 275 width with a 30 profile. So they both got the same profile. Slightly smaller at the front with 19s and slightly bigger at the back with the 20s. And looking absolutely incredible. This is a beautiful, beautiful looking Porsche. Very happy with it and glad I went with the yellow. I really quite like this yellow. Yellow and black is a nice colour combination, and I can't get over how good that engine looks in there. Absolutely happy with that. Let's jump in, check out the interior and see what this one sounds like. Very basic old school interior in here. Actually really like that. Pretty smart. Let's get her started up and see what she sounds like. Bit of a bizarre ticking over there. Let's give it some gas. Sadly, no turbo, so no turbo whistle, and that blower isn't doing much, but it's still got a pretty mean sound to it. But let's head over to the dyno and see what horsepower it's got. Here we are then at the dyno with the Porsche 911 RS America. 262 base horsepower. How much have we managed to squeeze out of this one today with the performance parts? Let's have a look. 215 additional horsepower. That is 82%. That's pretty good. Bringing us just shy of 500 up to 477 horsepower. Quite happy with that. Let's head over to the tuning setup. See what we've done today. This is the setup I've gone for. 2.61 on the ratio, 104 kilometers an hour in first gear, stretching all the way out to 787. Not that I'll think it'll get there. If this gets 300 to 350, I'll be very, very happy with this one. But let's get it on the speed track and see what speed it can actually do. Here we are then on the track. Maybe that windscreen is probably tinted still a little bit too much, but it's not too bad. Let's go 477 horsepower. What sort of speed is that going to reach? It's doing pretty well at the beginning. That's pretty flying quite well. There's 200 kilometers an hour. There's 250. Are we going to get over to 300? Are we going to smash through the 300? Make it towards 350? There's 300. Already happy with this Porsche. Wasn't quite expecting this. Can we get it to 350 though? Come on, you little Porsche RS America, you can do it. Go on. Not quite. 347 kilometers an hour from the RS America. Still pretty good. So there we are then, the Porsche 911 RS America. 347 kilometers an hour. Not bad, not brilliant. 61st in our speeder board. Still quite a way down, but 94 cars we've done now. Obviously, there is 97 episodes on this channel now, 3 of which were Motorcycle Mechanic Simulator. But 94 Car Mechanic Simulator, 21 cars, and 61st isn't the worst, but this one, I love that engine. That engine, I think, looks absolutely incredible. So I'm so happy with that. Absolutely a fantastic addition with the DLC. This is the last of the Porsche DLCs. You probably won't see another one of these from me for a little while. We may come back to it later. Maybe we'll do an idiotic i4 engine swap or something like that. Please don't say that we should do that. But anyway, yes, this one was a lot of fun today. A few facts and figures about this one. We bought the car for 67,088, where we got massively ripped off by over 6,500. That's how much we were down. But I have spent today 64,229 modifying this car, making it look as it does right now, which I think is pretty awesome with its black and yellow color scheme and looking pretty sweet with a few splashes of red in that engine bay. But it does pit our total spend at 131,317. Which is actually quite a bit for this Porsche. But we do need to jump in and see how much we can get this one sold for. See if we've made a big profit or not. So let's have a look. This is obviously the standard edition, which we picked up from the auction. All now 100% complete. And obviously now with 477 horsepower with our increases to the engine today. Pretty good. But how much can we get this one sold for? Let's have a look. 283,594. Quite happy with that. Take away our 131,317. Pits our profit at 152,277. And that is some actually incredible profit. Very, very, very happy with that. It is time to say goodbye to the last of the Porsche DLC, though. The 911 RS America. You were a lot of fun, but we have to say goodbye. Off you go. Building our money back up, back towards that 20 million mark. 8.5 million now. What have we got next time? We've got one of my favourite cars of all time. I prefer the Mark 1 ever so slightly, but this is the Volkswagen Golf Mark 2. This one is modded in by Lit, and this one here with the wide body is the Rocket Bunny edition. We will probably be keeping it the Rocket Bunny edition. It is looking pretty sweet. It's got a sideways mounted engine. I don't even know what one's in it, actually. Let's have a look. It is the i3 double overhead cam, a turbocharged engine in there. We may keep that one in. We may swap to the i4. I am undecided as of yet. But 149 base horsepower from this one. And we'll see which one's slightly better. We may swap it out. We may not. But this one is going to be pretty sweet. We will obviously be putting performance parts on it. And we will be keeping it this wide body look, which is looking pretty sweet. But if anyone fancies the modding in a Mark 1 Golf, I would definitely be happy to do that. Very retro styling. I do love the Mark 1 Golf. Or even the Volkswagen Caddy. I don't know if you guys had the Golf pickup truck anywhere else in the world, but I do love a Volkswagen Caddy. This is it for today's video, though. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do consider clicking that subscribe button and clicking like, and don't forget to drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of this one, not this one here, but what you thought of the Porsche we just did, or maybe what you do think of this one. Gonna be a lot of fun for next time. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday with a Mark II Golf. Goodbye.